Federal court today over the government pausing nearly $260 million in Medicaid payments to Minnesota in response to rampant fraud in the programs. The state is pushing for a temporary restraining order to keep that money flowing for now. Danny Spiewak joins us live with the latest. Danny?
Well, Minnesota officials and the Trump administration's lawyer really sparred in federal court in St. Paul today. The federal judge did not issue a decision, but he asked tough questions of both sides as he weighs whether or not to allow this Medicaid pause to go forward. The latest clash between the Trump administration and Minnesota centers around Medicaid.
In order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously.
In February, Vice President J.D. Vance announced plans to defer roughly $250 million in quarterly Medicaid payments, with the administration citing fraud in 14 high-risk social services programs.
A deferral. It's not, it's a ransom note.
These same arguments played out in federal court on Thursday. Seeking a temporary restraining order to keep the money flowing, Minnesota Assistant Attorney General Nathan Brenneman accused the Trump administration of a reckoning and retribution campaign and claimed that they're not working in good faith with the state on a corrective action plan. He said Minnesota is fighting fraud, but that the federal government is now basically targeting us, attacking us, and impeding us from doing it. We are completely stuck as a state. Meanwhile, with turmoil in the U.S. Attorney's Office, Attorney Matthew Zorn was flown in from out of state to represent the Trump administration. It was revealed in court that Zorn had not yet been admitted into practice in Minnesota as of Thursday morning due to a paperwork delay, but Judge Eric Tostrud still let him argue the case. Zorn said the burden of proof is on the state to prove that they can handle Medicaid payments safely. If you view this as they're entitled to the money, they might have an argument. But that regulation says they're not entitled to the money, Zorn said. The status quo is not that they get the payment. The status quo is that they don't get it until they can prove allowability to the claim. As I mentioned, the judge did not issue a decision today, but he said he's going to do one as soon as possible to make a ruling on this temporary restraining order that the state is seeking. You're hearing the different figures. It's somewhere roughly around $250 million that the state's looking to withhold. We heard $243 million in court today. That would represent about 7% of the quarterly Medicaid budget for the state. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Danny.